Assalamu alaikum class. This is your teacher, lecturer Asif here. I hope you people are enjoying yourself. A very warm welcome. Today we will be having our 11th lesson on reading skill and we will be learning comprehension by comparing and contrasting. And we will use an activity known as text structure graphic organizer to learn comprehension by comparing and contrasting. As we know already that we have different types of text structures and we have different type of graphic organizer to learn different type of text structures. As you can see, we describe things, we describe the sequence of things, we describe cause and effect. Similarly, we describe persuasive text, we compare and contrast, we solve problems. And for these different types of text structures, we have different types of graphic organizer, as you people can see it on your screen. Today, we will restrict ourselves to learn comprehension by comparing and contrasting. We will restrict ourselves to text structure, comparing and contrasting, and for this text structure, we have a graphic organizer, which is two mutually intersecting circles. Let's see how we will be using this graphic organizer to learn comprehension by comparing and contrasting. We will first show students reading samples. It might be a paragraph, it might be a sentence that have the text structure based on comparing and contrasting, based on similarities and differences. And then we will ask students to circle or underline or highlight the cued words and phrases, the words and phrases that signal to similarities or differences. And then we will use their cued words to comprehend the paragraph or sentence. We will see how these cued words are helpful in understanding comparison and contrast. Let's apply this activity, text structure graphic organizer, on a sentence which is taken from your chapter number 9, Hunger and Population Explosion. It is, in fact, in the world of today, not only is there not enough food, but each year there are many more people to eat it. Now we have two cued words here, not only and but. And we know that these two cued words or phrases, these show contrast. So we can understand that in the above sentence, food quantity is contrasted with the number of people. First is decreasing. First means the food quantity is decreasing. And the second means the number of people is increasing. So by applying this activity of graphic organizer, we have learned the actual message of this sentence. Here, food quantity is contrasted with the number of people, and we are informed that food quantity is decreasing and the number of people is increasing. So we have seen how this activity of graphic organizer helped us in understanding this very single sentence. Let's apply it on another sentence. Here we have a long sentence. The group of countries best able to support a rapidly growing population has a relatively low birth rate, while the group least able to support their present population, let alone a larger one, has a very high birth rate. Here we have two cued words, best and least, and these two words show contrast. And here, a contrast has been made between rich countries versus poor countries, or we can say a comparison, a contrast has been made between more resource, more resourceful versus less resourceful countries. Or we can say that a comparison contrast has been made between low birth rate versus high birth rate. So by this activity, we have been able to learn the actual message of this paragraph. In this paragraph, a comparison has been made between rich countries versus poor country. We can say more resourceful versus less resourceful countries. It can also be said that a contrast or comparison has been made between low birth rate versus high birth rate. Let's see another sentence. Here we have a paragraph. This is from your chapter number 14, Louis Pasteur. They were married in 1815, and it seems that Pasteur was so buried in his work on the wedding day that he entirely forgot the ceremony and had to be fetched by a friend. The marriage, however, was extremely happy, and the wife seems to have been an important factor in her husband's work. Now, the cued word here is however, and it shows contrast. The paragraph or the sentence which is written before however, from it we can guess that their matrimonial life might not be so happy. But when we have used this word however, it shows that their marriage was a success. We can understand that Pastor's obsession with science hints that he neglected his wife, and their married life would be full of problems. The use of however shows that the opposite happened, that their life was a success. They had a happy married life. So by using this activity, we have come to know or learn the actual message of this paragraph. Let's see another sentence. Now, Pasteur's discovery that fermentation was due to bacteria set Lister wondering whether inflammation was not also a type of fermentation due to bacteria getting into the wound. Now, here we have two cued words, now and also, and they show comparison. And here, a comparison has been made between role of bacteria in fermentation with the role of bacteria in inflammation. Lister learned that inflammation of wound is because of bacteria, right? So comparison has been made between role of bacteria in fermentation and the role of bacteria in inflammation. This activity helped us in understanding text. Let's see our next slide. It had already been suggested that this was due to a germ, and Pasteur finally proved the truth of this theory and further worked out preventive treatment. We have two words here, finally and further, and they show comparison. Here, germ theory of disease, its truth and suggested treatment are compared. Germ theory of disease, its truth and suggested treatment are compared chronologically in a sequence. So this is how we can apply this activity of graphic organizer to understand a text in a better way. Let's have another sentence here. It is a paragraph. This treatment, though it was not at once adopted, was very successful in decreasing the epidemic. It has been estimated that before Pasteur came to the rescue, France had lost 40 million francs through silkworm disease. An even more important result of this work was that it led Pasteur on to study the infectious diseases of the higher animals, including man. The cute phrase here is "and even more," and it makes a comparison. And we learn that impact of Pasteur's treatment of silkworm disease on economy of France is compared with its impact on study of infectious diseases of higher animals, including man. So this is how we apply this activity of text graphic organizer to improve our comprehension of any given text. And you people have been provided with a practice document. It comprises 10 sentences. You have to briefly explain these sentences by text structure graphic activity. Thank you so very much. See you in the class.